Hello guys and welcome back here. It's Lerpus. He made it to the studio. Welcome
Finally,
to the studio.
it's been about time. I mean, I think I've been meaning to come out here for what, like 8 months now?
Yeah,
plus like a couple of years before that. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, so we finally got Lerpus out here, and we've got an interesting match to kick things off with. It's going to be Titan against Virtus.pro on train, but we just learned that Titan are using a stand-in, and I wouldn't have liked Titan's chances anyway.
Yeah, no, I mean, up until the point where Virtus.pro basically stopped trying in the first game, they looked really good. So, and considering they have to win 3 out of these games, they definitely want to get this one their way, and then just have to split the last series against HellRaisers. Considering Titan's missing Scream, the guy who was bought out for who knows how much, if all those numbers are true, I mean, it's a huge blow for their team because they already don't have that much skill to begin with.
I completely agree, and another interesting start as well. The last 3 times these teams played train, VP crushed every time. So the history doesn't look good either. Basically, everything's working against Titan.
I've got to ask you actually, as you still manage to watch a lot of CS, right? So you're still pretty clued in, and despite a very demanding job, how are you interpreting Virtus.pro right now? Because of course they are slumping a little bit, but do you feel like this is going to be something that's going to continue for quite some time, or are they making changes you think are going to be working?
I mean, it's always hard to tell with them, because like they come and go. They come and go just like that. One game they might be completely off, and the next one they might be back. So it's just up to them to time it perfectly. I think that's what it comes down to them. They have the ability, but they just have to have the good games at the right times.
All right, well, it's time to jump into the game, so I'll leave you guys to it.
Thank you very much, Dan. So yeah, right into the thick of the action as the pistol round comes through. Neo's landed the first shot already. And again, as we mentioned in the previous game, definitely a player to watch out for VP. Didn't have a fantastic one up against Nip, especially the second half. But he did get the kills where they counted. SmithZz comes in and there's Neo again. And the bomb has been planted from Titan. And with RpK landing that headshot, things are about to get interesting. pasha comes back though. It's all on existence. And he's got 3 players to find and frag. Really no hope of picking this one up. There's the first frag though. He's down to 7 HP. Can he get anything done?
Yeah, there's no way. Nowhere for existence to win this round. Him and Faris were both on fairly low health, falling really far behind. Basically at the point where RpK died, Titan had very limited chances of winning that one without Virtus.pro making a major mistake.
Absolutely. It really would have been a case of VP throwing that round, if they lost from that position. And I was a bit worried because, that entire last map kind of felt like it was going that way.
Yeah.
With some seriously strange decisions coming in.
No, of course. I mean, honestly, when you first start off, when you have a big lead like Virtus.pro did in that game, you start off kind of just, playing around. You don't want to give it your all because you want to save your energy for the other games. But it's sometimes hard to kick that off, like once you actually realize you need to start playing. So that's always the danger.
Yeah, stopping and starting, of course. But here's RpK with the Deagle. A player who definitely is capable of going ham when it's required, but it's gone all one-way traffic and it's in the favour of Virtus.pro, and just like that, a shutout performance. Only Snax dying, and Titan back to the drawing board. They didn't force buy in that last round from what I can see, because they're going to go for AKs this time. With the first round bomb plant, you'll see a lot of T-sides do this, so opting for the AKs that much earlier, plus the Glil.
Yeah, especially for Virtus.pro. I mean, they don't have ops yet. So Neo doesn't have an op. They have a P90, 1 mag 7. So this is an ideal time to try to push your luck, considering how hard it is to win rounds to begin with on the T side.
Absolutely. Let's see if it pays out for them. Molotov onto the train. And it's byali who picks up 3 frags in quick succession. And again, this isn't an eco round. He just went to town on Titan. That is brutal. pasha comes in. And in a blink of an eye, this round goes heavily in favor of the Poles. And it's all in existence.
And this kind of comes down to what I talked about before with Scream missing, Titan missing Scream skill here, is the fact that Virtus.pro has, not only do they have better teamwork at this point, they have far more skill, and Titan's already missing one of their most skilled players. So, I mean, they're just not going to get that kind of performances that Virtus.pro just got from byali, that just completely swing key rounds. And this round is effectively worth 2 rounds, plus whatever comes after, so it's a huge blow to them and their early buy.
I'm getting the slight feeling that maybe you feel VP are going to take this one. Quite convincingly.
They're a very good trained team.
yeah, absolutely.
Very rough to start on T side against them, especially with the standing, because you're not going to have your everything playing style down, your strategies, your smokes, everything with the stand-in. So if you started on CT side and you got a lot of rounds, maybe you'd have felt more comfortable and could have snuck in those couple rounders on the second half. A lot tougher if you go down big early on, which it kind of looks like it might happen.
Yeah, absolutely does. As you say, effectively a 2-for-1 round. They've got the first out of those 2 potential ones, and Titan, how are they going to opt in this one? They're going to upgrade anything? Just pistols by the looks of things, existence with a deagle. VP 250s thrown in for good measure. A couple flashbangs as well to try and keep things interesting, but I feel Titan, if they can get a bomb plant here, job's done. They're not expecting to get much more than that.
No, that would definitely be enough for them. And right now it looks like they're going to go inner, but TaZ is waiting for them. Neo's going to rotate in, already is rotated in. And actually, interestingly enough, it's a lot harder to get a bomb plant when you have 2 rifles there against an eco than against an op, which Neo would normally have, and which he's for sure going to switch to next time he dies.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can see that, as expected, VP doing the work, but the bomb has been planted, so not a horrendous round for Titan by any means. If they can take a couple weapons away, that would be the icing on top. It doesn't look like that's going to be the case, as Existence now is running away with that Deagle. They'll try and keep this alive and kicking into round number 5, but this is going to go the way of Virtus.pro again. But we did say this at the start of the round, you know, if they can get the bomb plant, not a bad little effort there.
That was a good round for Titan. That's exactly what they wanted out of that round, so that was a good round for them. For Virtus.pro, I mean, they just played passive. They didn't want to risk losing that round. If they played far up close, odds are they probably would have just completely murdered Titan. They wouldn't have gotten a bomb plant. But there's also that small chance that they lose a gun and something bad happens. So sometimes it pays to play a little safer.
Yeah, playing the odds almost there. Just playing safe. Better safe than sorry, of course. But Titan now will have 2 AWPs in play. What's your take on this? I feel on T side, this is a bit risky here for Titan. I mean, you're effectively throwing all your chips on the table and saying we're going to get some picks.
Yeah, and the problem with having multiple ops is also the fact that even if you win, but those ops don't survive, you're still broke. Yeah. So it's a very risky play, but at the same time, if they don't think they have a lot to go with, you know, you might as well go for something that allows you to get picks that don't really need a lot of teamwork.
Absolutely. Because of course, just between these 2 ops, that's over $9,000 right there. So
yeah,
that can get a bit hairy. But they have picked up the first kill, so that's a good start for them. Minute left on the timer as well for Titan to make something happen here. Bomb in the hands of RpK, and those trusty hands been around the block so many times. And VP just trying to hold on for dear life. That's an important frag, 2 in quick succession. Just picks out of nowhere, and the Molotov also connects to Pop Dog. Faris is going to pick himself up a frag, looking for a second as well. He gets traded out, and it's all in Existence. This started so well for Titan, but we already spoke about losing those 2 ops. That has happened, unless Existence can pull off this sick 1v3 clutch. And there's the second frag coming down. TaZ spots it, but Existence gets the kill! How is that even possible?
That was a really nice play by Existence. Especially considering the informational advantage, TaZ knew exactly where Existence was. Existence had no idea. That was a really nice play by the leader of Titan right there.
I saw it from TaZ's perspective. I have a feeling that was a pure flick shot from Existence there. Judging from how he was looking.
It must have been with how quick he turned around and got mowed down.
That was disgusting. It's got to feel good for Titan. He didn't quite manage to get to the AWP though. He just caught there on Pop Dog. But fantastic solo effort there from Existence. It really keeps his team in the running for this round. There SmithZz lands the AWP shot in the early stages of round number 6. Neo does answer back in kind, however, with an AWP of his own. He's on site pretty much. Was by himself, but now the cavalry is arriving thick and fast for CTs. A full-on aggression and rotation from Virtus.pro. The frags keep coming back and forth, and well, normally when it goes to a 3-on-3, you'd favour the T's to have the advantage, but look at their HP, it's pretty low, and they've got a Tech 9 in play on shox. They've only got a Molotov which has been thrown, and pasha's landed the shot. The Molotov lands and forces the T's to relocate. Bomb is still not planted, but there are shox with the headshot. Couldn't see the Tech 9.
Yeah, and shox really is the key player now in this round. Virtus.pro knows where Existence is. It would take a lot out of him, good timing and everything, and he actually has that. Actually has a chance to walk out into the side or maybe pick up Neo here. But this round really is going to come down to shox and what he does with this position.
It's absolutely vital.
pasha playing smart here though, playing far back, just waiting for shox to make his move. Obviously he might move and still get caught off guard by the timing, but also not a lot of time left on the clock.
Yeah, absolutely not. Only about 20 seconds. And they know the bombs dropped as well from VP. That's one of the reasons why they're playing so defensive right now. I'm not looking for the information. Existence, I believe they heard him drop down. Fakes out the bomb plant. 10 seconds left. He gets fragged, and that's probably the round slipping away now. shox comes in. There's the first frag. All that Neo has to do is hide, and this will be a CT round, and indeed it will be 5-1. But Titan again. They do take 4 weapons away, and that's going to hurt VP's economy. You can see their economy not fantastic here. If they lose this round, they could be into a potential force buy.
Yeah, and Titan actually might buy here, even though they have no money, just to do something risky. Because like you said, they're going to be absolutely broke, even after this round, and they have a chance to potentially break Virtus.pro's bank.
Yep, you can see VP do manage to rummage together with 3 M4s, an AWP, and a Mag 7, but the problem is that in their back pocket, they have nothing now. They have ran that well dry. Whereas Titan have an M4, 2 Deagles, make that 3 Deagles actually in a Tech 9. They've got utility on Smiths, and there's the Mag 7 for Smith. Snax is 2 frags, he's looking for a third, he's picked it up. He's hungry for a fourth, and he could definitely do this. He's biding his time, trying to make Faris waste his Deagle bullets, and in actual fact, Snax whips out the USP, picks up his 4th kill. That is money in the bank.
And that's just about the most brutal way to lose a round, where you go for the force buy. You just see someone do something relatively random and just completely devour you. You don't even get a chance to execute. You don't even get a chance to try to win that round. It just gets taken away from you.
And Snax picking up so many kills with the shotgun as well. Like, I think he went from 0 to like $6,000 in that one round.
That's what it'll do to you.
Yep. Right back in it.
Those rewards.
So Smith's now with the Deagle. Really the only hope in this round, I would say, and he's been picked off with ease. The Deagle gets picked up from RpK. It seems to be cursed. Whoever has their hands on it is going to fall down straight afterwards. Snax has got 2. Knows where the 3rd player is roughly, and that will be all she wrote from round number 8, unless Existence can pull off another clutch. But that would have been even more spectacular. 1v5 clutch with a P250. It's not going to happen, mate. I'm sorry.
No. But we're starting to get to that point where, I mean, there's still 7 rounds left, so still plenty of room to work with for Titan. But at some point, they're going to have to string some rounds together. Because if you keep winning 1, losing, you're going to end up at 3-12 for the half, and that's not going to be enough going into the second half. So something's got to give here. And so far, it's not promising, especially considering the fact their only round was a very unlikely 1v3.
That's a very good point, actually. Yeah, you see the one round, you think, oh, you know, maybe Titan. No, it was a 1v3 clutch.
Yeah, it wasn't a round they were supposed to win. It's not like they've been closed the whole time.
That's it. And then you look at VP's T side. It is scary, to say the least. They're a very good T side on this train map. So it doesn't get any easier from this point forward, is what I'm trying to say. Yeah,
and I mean, they're just strong terrorist side teams to begin with. They just have good communication. They know how to play off of each other very well. Whereas Titan, especially being a very strategic heavy team, you would think that they'd be hurt more by losing one of their starters.
Yeah, I've got to admit, I don't know much about Faris coming into this game. I think you and Dan are both of the same disposition, I suppose. We were kind of like, who? That's no disrespect to Faris, but I from Scream, a player who is...
No, I mean, it's just there's just so many players in different countries that it's hard to stay on top of everyone. My phone's being charged, but I'm sure someone is telling me right now on Twitter why I'm wrong on this. I'm glad I'll be able to look it up after this game.
Oh, Lopez, he's such a scrub. You don't know every single player in the world. You suck.
So Snax once again, 3 big kills, 3 headshots. It's completely shutting down Titan. Existence 1v3. Have to pull off something. And Snax with his 4th headshot. Snax, honestly, I think might be the most underrated player in the world.
I agree.
I said this in an article I wrote maybe a month or so ago. People think Snax is good, but he's so much better than people give him credit for. He's by far the best player in Virtus.pro. And every single time that the polls show up in the final of the tournament, it's always because Snax is the best player, or one of the best players there. It's just incredibly good.
I honestly couldn't agree more. It's one of the reasons why at the very start when we're doing the alpha draft stuff, I picked Snax first. So I think he is that good.
No, he's definitely one of the, consistently one of the top 5 best players, maybe even a top 3 player in the world.
Absolutely. Oh, that grenade. that hurts to watch.
This is unfair.
You just see Smith darting, maybe hoping he had a chance at a 1D, and the grenade lands in his back pocket, blown to smithereens.
Also kind of seems like with how passive Faris is playing, because it doesn't seem like he's ever really going along the first people. He's kind of been holding back. He probably might feel a little nervous just because this is probably one of his first shots ever in a big game. So it's understandable that you feel a little hesitant. You might not know the people you're playing with that well.
Yeah, I think we were told that they originally were going to have a different sub, and then he stepped in last second, so...
Yeah, I think it was supposed to be Yoons from LDLC Blue at first, and then turns out they have a match at the same time, so
that's right.
That didn't quite work out.
So you do question how much he's had an opportunity to play with the rest of this roster, and either way, whichever way you cook it down, it's a 9-1 scoreline to VP, and this is quickly getting out of control for Titan. What's the kind of halftime scoreline you'd be looking from a T's perspective here? What do you think's respectable for Titan?
I think 5 would be respectable. 5 gives you a chance.
Right.
It gives you a fair chance where you can make a couple mistakes on the CT side and still come out on top if you play well otherwise. Anything else, and the margin for error is just very small.
Absolutely. Double up again for Titan. Whoa.
That was close. That was really close.
Wow. If that had connected, I'd probably just left the studio. that would have been pretty disgusting. Just a pure timing shot, though. They play this map so often. They know roughly where the players are.
Honestly, the worst shot through T mid was the one that Guardian hit on Alu during the major, though. That was absolutely brutal. It was in a big gun round, too. Titan playing slow, as usual, kind of trying to take over areas, but, I mean, Virtus.pro, they're just playing smart. They're not giving away picks. They're not peeking too much. They're just holding back, making sure Titan execute first.
Playing very disciplined here. Titan have thrown out a few grenades. They haven't given too much away, but the problem is that although they've still got 45 seconds to go, they haven't really got any real estate. They're just in upper. They haven't managed to break through onto either side. They haven't got through into Pop Dog. They're not probing Virtus.pro.
No, they really haven't gained anything. Virtus.pro's given them a little room, but they haven't really gained anything.
Yeah.
Perfectly timed Molly there. It's not going to allow other Titan players to join Faris in the site. It's going to come down to TaZ here. Well, TaZ and his many rotated teammates, but mostly TaZ for now.
Faris has gone in. Won't get picked up. TaZ has missed a whole bunch of bullets there. Still will pick up a frag nonetheless, and RpK's gone down as well. So shox and SmithZz, the SNS combo, can they pull off something big? The timer is on 7 seconds. There's really nothing Titan can do. They're trying to get some frags and trying to escape, maybe tuck their tail between the legs and keep those AWPs alive, but instead they meet the same fate as the rest of their team, who now 10-1.
One big mistake the Titan have been making so far when they've been executing inner, and it's been a couple times now, is they've always left shox holding the flank. So essentially what they're doing is they're executing with 4 people and expecting someone like Snax to just quick flank through ladder room, but he hasn't done that once.
Yeah.
So it's actually interesting to see if he might now realize that he hasn't done it yet. He might have a chance later on in the half, and this is when shox might actually finally give in and start going inner with this team, which would be like the worst possible timing for the Frenchies. And Belgians.
Yeah, well, it's important to mention the Belgians.
Especially because they're 2.
Yeah, absolutely. Especially a player of shox's caliber as well. You'd almost want him to be trying to...
No, he's the one player you need with you
exactly
to try to break into the site.
Especially if you have a stand-in. You need someone else to pick up that slack. So, questionable decisions here maybe from Titan. But this round could be going their way regardless, because they do have the player advantage. 2 Tech-9s in play. Snax is snaking his way through the smoke. pasha comes in. This should be a frag for Snax. He misses it on the first time of asking, and will on their second time as well. That's a crucial frag that could give Titan their second round. It's a 3-on-2 now. pasha must know someone's through the smoke. I think he was tagging his teammate there, or very close to. That was so awkward.
He was. He just couldn't make it through the smoke. pasha in a 1v2 now, but it looks like this one should be a Titan round.
Yeah, that bomb is pretty close to detonating right now. Oh! What a shot from pasha. I don't think he's got the time though. He's going to just jump onto the bomb. I think he misses it. He goes back on again. What is happening? Is this real life? He's going to lose the round, but what a no-scope.
Yeah, that was a nice shot to almost recover the round there. Something in Titan's defense I just wanted to add regarding shox holding flank is that, I mean, he is their best player in those clutch situations. So ideally, if you can break into the site, get the bomb planted, give him a round that he has a chance at winning, I mean, that's good for you. You want to give him a fair chance to win a 1v1, 2v2 type round, because that's where he excels.
I guess the issue is, though, that if his team gets battered and it's like a 4-on-1.
Exactly, and that's when he looks really bad.
Yep.
That's the problem.
Because there's very few players in the world that can consistently clutch them out.
It's a nice entry kill by RpK.
Very nice, yeah.
Taking out Neo, and he actually would have been able to basically claim the entire inner site there had he gone. And now we're going to see Snax finally peek up. And that's exactly the moment that shox moved and wasn't able to get that kill.
Just pops up.
Life is brutal, man.
Throws a Molotov, runs on away again. The epic troll is real.
Yeah.
Titan hungry for more rounds here.
And right now, looks like Snax is going to push into T middle. And he's going to be able to... He's going to go through? No, I think they'll right back outside.
I feel like Titan are a bit predictable. We've seen this tactic a bunch of times now, almost identical, at the same time as well.
The problem with, actually talked about that in a second, because I think TaZ is going to see action now in inner.
He is, it's Faris, and he takes the bomb in first. The bomb's going to drop in a precarious position. The Molotov goes out as well. pasha with 2 kills.
And once again, we see shox holding flank, hoping for something. Actually, this time it looks like he might get Snax here, but it's not going to make any difference in terms of the actual round. I was going to say that I think the reason that Titan keep running the same strat is because what their game is based on is them being able to take inner, and then once they're able to take inner, they can run a bunch of different fakes around that. But the problem is if they can never get that first initial execution down on the inner site, they're never going to make Virtus.pro over-rotate and do all the other things they want them to do, and then that breaks their entire game down. And in situations like this, I think Existence has been known to overthink things. Like sometimes I think you gotta simplify, and having a stand-in is one of those times.
Yeah, sometimes the simple strats really do work. You know, they're the most clear-cut and direct, especially if you mix them up as well. If Titan keep going for these delayed B takes, you know, a fast rush could just catch VP off guard. It could definitely throw a spanner in the works. But the problem is now, in this round, Titan have very few weapons to work with. So now they're going to be pushing in aggressively. But again, this crossfire is perfect. TaZ pretty much just single-handedly wrecks 2 players. They did have pistols. And now byali's coming in. There's one, there's the second. And another round goes to the way of VP. 11-2 now. 12-2, actually.
Yeah, and honestly, there haven't even been that many rounds where Titan had a realistic chance of winning. You know, they competed for like 1 or 2 rounds on top of the 2 that they won.
Yeah. And
one of them very questionable round win. So far, Virtus.pro have looked incredibly good. They've looked just as good as they looked in the first half against NIP before presumably taking their foot off the pedal a little bit because of the big lead. And it looks like they are just gonna sneak through. I mean, assuming this continues to the finals. You know, they needed to win 3 games today out of 4. If they escape with this one, all they have to do is split the series with HellRaisers.
That's it. Pretty much is it in a nutshell. pasha, his spidey senses are tingling, and shox behind. And Ivy does find himself drop 6 foot under. Last 2 players for Titan.
A nice shot by Resistance.
Doesn't get a second though. Doesn't look like he's going to get the repeat. And I suppose Titan at this point are just crossing their fingers and hoping for the same VP that went into the second half against NIP. But this is Train, it's a whole different beast. I can't see them losing that many rounds on T side of Train. I just simply can't see it happening.
Yeah, the odds are not looking good.
That's a very kind way of saying it, I feel.
Yeah, I think so. I think so too. But I mean, facts are facts, right? What are you gonna do?
That's it. You got to be realistic. There's no point saying, yeah, Titan have a real good chance of coming back into this game because they just don't.
Yeah. But if they are to get some rounds, this is where they have to start.
Yeah.
They must win this pistol.
Absolutely.
So otherwise, this game is effectively over.
Yeah, that's it. So a lot of pressure on Titan right now. A split pick from Virtus.pro. 2 players going up towards IV2 in upper, and yeah, they're just floating around with the bomb. That's going to be Snax and Team Main. Looking for that opening pick. Haven't landed anything just yet.
Yeah, shox got lit up a little bit by Ivy when he was peeking down to 50 health. Looks like Virtus.pro might be headed towards the outer side now. It's from ladder and T mid. Existence with a nice headshot from far out.
Very nice. The problem is though that they're getting answers back on. Neo and Snax both come in. There's RpK and SmithZz though. The seesaw of Counter-Strike continues. Existence close range gets wrecked from the Glock. And now pasha and Neo have it all to do. Make that just pasha, a 1 versus 1. Similar HP. And the bomb has just been picked up by pasha. Has SmithZz mind-gamed himself here out of this round. Looks like he's going all the way around in towards PopDog.
Yeah, but it looks like pasha's doing basically the identical thing. He's going to be getting into inner completely free. And this is going to make for an awkward retake for SmithZz unless he realizes quick enough to go through PopDog.
That's it. I don't think that any of his teammates had defuse kits either, so he's going on in this one.
Yeah, it looks like pasha got the perfect bomb plan in too, so this is going to be extremely tough for SmithZz to win.
This really should be pasha's round every day of the week. But you never know. We counted Existence out and he pulled off a ridiculous clutch. Maybe SmithZz is going to come up here and land the 1 tap, but I feel pasha, he all he has to do is just play time. That's really all he has to do from this position, and he just wins it outright. That's what he's done.
I mean, SmithZz didn't even go for it. I mean, he went chasing for the kill, but sometimes you gotta just tap the bomb and just hope for the lucky shot. But nice play by pasha nonetheless. I don't think he heard SmithZz running in inner, but that was a good read nonetheless that he would do that after the peek in the Z hallway. So 14-2, Titan obviously going to be on a bye now, but everything going Virtus.pro's way so far.
Well, it's sink or swim right now for Titan. They lose this, they're done. This is effectively 2-for-1 as well. So VP have such a huge round buffer. Let's hope they don't take their foot off the gas again. Or I suppose let's hope they do if you're a Titan fan.
And you know, you really can tell that Virtus.pro are playing for a spot at a $250,000 tournament, whereas Titan know they're knocked out.
Yeah, that's it.
RpK gets CZ kill there. 3v3, still winnable. Oh, pasha down to 10 health. Gets hit by SmithZz Scout. This round is still in play.
It certainly is. It's definitely winnable. Well, that's made it a little bit more difficult, but a 1-for-1 trade in the last couple of seconds takes us down to a 2-on-2. Pasha still in the aforementioned 10 HP, but it doesn't matter because he lands the AK shot anyway. Smith's on top of the train as we just slow down into bullet time. He doesn't land the first shot, he gets picked off, and VP within touching distance now of a pretty ridiculous 16-2 win, you'd imagine.
Yeah, it is not looking good for Titan. I mean, basically no chance of pulling this off anymore.
Hi. How you doing?
Hey.
Now,
Hey,
last
Dan.
time I checked, it was 15-2, unless I've missed something horrible. Did the map end?
That's what I do believe as well.
Ah, the game crashed. Right, there you go. Did they catch Dan like dancing across the camera there? It was quite majestic.
Majestic is a good adjective.
Thank you.
Hello. How's it going, guys? So the timing there was a little bit off.
Yeah, I mean, you
My-
got
my
time to
spin
work on
across
it
the-
still a little bit.
Yeah. So the match is not going too well for Titan. It would appear.
Yeah,
I guess pretty much
it really would appear to be that way.
Yeah.
It's a fair assessment, I would say.
I guess that's the most predictable result. But I guess we're trycasting this
One round.
one.
Go on, Dan. The honours is all yours.
Am I going in?
1-on-1.
All right. I don't know what I'm doing. All right. We got we got a scout on existence. It's not a good look. Is it really? Biali's been doing pretty well all day and yesterday. Existence has no idea where he is as well at this point, and he's got a lot of time to play with. So you'd expect Biali to be able to get a pretty easy go of the plant here. And Existence really struggling to work out where he's going to be. It's a good position by Connector, but as soon as Biali works out where he is, Existence needs to hit a pretty phenomenal shot. There goes the smoke. So that's a huge Q for Existence. Go free. Gets actually a no-scope, but Biali will get the frag anyway, so that's going to be it. So, boom. I get to steal the commentary for the last round. That's fantastic.
Yeah, good
All right.
timing.
All right, so, okay, Titan, I mean, they've already been eliminated.
Yeah.
They've had a terrible season. I think, you know, they had to stand in here. And, I mean, now that you're on the show, Lepus, I really would love to hear, you know, your general thoughts on Titan. What is needed? Do they need to switch out players? They've had issues for quite some time.
Well, I'm honestly still not sure what the whole deal with Titan is, because initially, when the player transfers were done, obviously it was done for Envy. Envy were the one who wanted Kenny S and Apex, and the other way, the transfer was made just to make the first trade happen. So I always kind of felt like this Titan team was sort of like a patchwork team, and I wasn't sure that it was going to be meant for like a longer time period at first at all. I thought maybe it would be just done after the first major, ESL Cologne. Obviously, they bought Scream for a big enough sum that this is not a patchwork team. You'd be crazy to spend that kind of money for just like a couple events. So that must mean that they still plan to be around for the foreseeable future. You don't spend that kind of money on a player unless you expect him to be playing for you at least for like a year, right? Like
yeah.
it wouldn't make any sense otherwise. So I don't know. I mean, obviously, Titan have their issues. I think Existence is a solid leader. I think he still has his issues as well. I don't think he always maximizes. I think he always makes his team play the right way, but I don't think that it always maximizes the result. I think sometimes when you know that you don't have it, you got to do something different. You can't always attempt to be perfect. Sometimes being sort of nitty gritty and just doing stupid stuff may work out better than attempting to do something that you know your team is not yet capable to pull off.
Yeah, I mean, Menace, do you feel like Existence is... I mean, he's always credited to be one of the best in-game leaders, one of the guys who can make the roles work within the team. But it seems like the mantle's been handed to shox to actually lead the game at the moment, and Existence is taking more of he's focusing more on his individual performance. How do you think this is going to develop?
Well, in that game, Existence actually was probably the standout player for me on Titan. He's the guy that landed the ridiculous 1v3 clutch, the sick flick shot at the end. He was getting plenty of entry frags as well. I think actually he was the standout player. The issue is that individually speaking, no one apart from him really showed up. They didn't really have any tactics. Now you can say a lot of that's down to Faris coming in. Obviously, how much does he know about Titan as a well-oiled machine? Does he know the strats? Does he know the calls? All these kind of things. You can, debate that for the rest of the day. The fact of the matter is they simply were not good enough today. That is the bottom line. They were not good enough. VP destroyed them.
And the problem with anybody but Existence calling on that team is the same that I made the same point about Pronax on Fnatic and some other people, is that if you don't have Existence calling, then why do you have him on your team? Because there's far better players in France, and I'm sure even in Belgium, that you could pick up who could do what Existence does, And maybe you can hire Existence as a coach. I mean, some people are not going to do that, so obviously it's not going to work for everybody, because some people just aren't interested in doing that unless you can play as well. But unless you're getting the mastermind stuff from Existence, that's the stuff that he really brings to the table. Other stuff can be replaced.
Yeah.
That stuff maybe can't. Maybe can. And if it can, then Existence really doesn't have a place on the team, does it? Because then there's someone else who can do his job better than he can.
Yeah, I was going to say, I mean, Existence does have quite a reputation as an in-game leader, but I'm trying to think of an iteration of Titan lineup where he's been able to actually maximize the potential of performance. Because I guess maybe the other one that arguably was the best so far, or best iteration, was with Apex and Kenius, but still it felt like it didn't work. I mean, what are your thoughts there?
No, I think that was probably the one where he like truly maximized what he had the most. The team early this year, when Maniac was actually playing really well. Right around the time when Kenius sort of started slumping, I think their peak was the second place finish at iOS Pantamera. That was probably the best placing they ever had. But that's kind of a shame, considering at that time I think Kenius was like uncontested best player in the world. Like no one was close to his level before the op update kind of changed it and ruined his game to an extent, at least temporarily. But yeah, I mean, I do think in a sense Existence is overrated, in the sense that if you look at his results, they're not quite there. But I do still think that he has a lot of potential to do things that not many other people can do. And that's why we used to always see Titan match up well against teams like Fnatic, because he's one of those few people who can sort of figure out how to beat those other teams. But the problem is he always needs everything, at least, I mean, this is obviously like my perception of it. I'm not in the team. But to me, it seems like he needs everything to be perfect. And that's, that's a tall order. Someone like Virtus.pro, they sort of just seem to thrive under chaos. They're fine. Like, they might not know what's going on at all times, but they'll figure it out on the go. I'm not sure if Titan's ever been able to do that, and I think that really is their true issue.
So you were saying the kind of fix for you would probably be to maybe put Existence into a coach role, bring in some new talent, something like this. That would be your fix, would you say?
I'm not sure if that's my fix, but I think that could be a way to try to help improve the team. Okay. Because to me, the one big problem with Titan as a whole is that they just don't have enough firepower to compete with these guys. I mean, SmithZz is a okay player. He's not a great player. He's not gonna be a guy winning tons of aim duels against top tier talent. shox obviously incredibly good. RpK, he never really got back to that peak. He's a good player, but he's not the monster that he was before his fairly long break. And it's like 1.5 years, something like that.
Yeah, fairly long time.
Yeah. So that's a long time to be out of the game, especially because that was around the time when CSGO was still getting updated a lot. The game changed quite a bit during that time. So he's never really gotten back to that very top level that he had. So I just don't think Titan has enough skill to win through skill. So then they need to have the perfect tactics, and if they don't have that, then like how are you gonna win?
Right. Yeah. No.
You need some edge somewhere.
Yeah. Exactly.
Something's gotta be your thing. You can't just be like, well, I'm gonna be worse than you at this, and I'm gonna be worse than you at this, but then somehow I'm still gonna be. But like, no.
It's kind of like, it always takes me back to that expression, jack of all trades, like jack of all trades but master of none type thing. That's the kind of feeling I get with Titan. They're all decent players, right? Like none of them are garbage players, but none of them are world-beating players either. Like going back onto the SmithZz analogy, for me, I wouldn't even rate him in my like top 5, top 10 AWPers in the world. I don't think he's that caliber. And that's not saying he's a bad player, but if you put him against the likes of Guardian, he gets wrecked. Yeah. Like he can't hang with Guardian, he just can't do it. So whereas before you had like Kenny who was going crazy, and the rest of the team wasn't necessarily backing up huge, now they've got, well, no AWPer that can really carry them like with 30 or 40 bombs, and then the rest of the team isn't doing anything as well. Therefore, you get those kind of score lines. It's kind of harsh to an extent because Train is a map that Titan do struggle on at the best of times, and it's a map that VP are ridiculously good on. So I think we've seen like, worst case scenario for them and a stand-in. But you're seeing this across the board with other maps as well. This isn't just a one-off. Titan have been struggling recently. There's no doubting that. All
right, well, it's time to do our cobblestone case giveaway. Well, let's see what crap you guys are going to win. Do we have a winner, Producer Reese?
The winner is Frankie Land.
Did the stream hear you say that, or? Actually, I have my inner in, so I'm flying blind. So
the winner is Frankie Land, I believe.
Frankie Land. All right, perfect. Frankie Land. Let's see what you have won. It's probably gonna be terrible. Let's be honest.
Can it beat the P2000 chainmail?
Come on, you gotta be optimistic. There's a Knight, there's a Dragon Lore, and there's also
about 10 Mac 10s.
Yeah.
Alright, well, you sir have won a Mac 10 signed by Finesse. Ah, fair enough.
It's got
Got some dig
Dignitas on it
stickers.
again. It seems like they
CLG
love
sticker.
Dignitas in this cobblestone.
Yeah,
We had
they
Dignitas
played quite
last
a
time.
few cobblestones. There was a lot of cobblestones. A lot of cobblestones played at the major. It was like 10 or something.
It was the
at
most
least.
played map, wasn't it?
Well, I
Yeah.
mean, it's always the third map. You know, like I'd really like to
Oh,
see
yeah, yeah.
I'd really like to see Valve's random third map generator, because I think really someone messed with the odds and no one's ever checked it, and I think that's why we're getting Cobble
Yeah.
like 2 out of 3 times.
Like that time when we had the update for the Tech 9 and they like messed up a value and it
Yeah.
just like had no recoil, so just running around wrecking everyone with the Tech 9. Brilliant times. Alright guys, we're also running a Razer promotion as well for the Germans. Any German viewership who are watching, you can get discounts for all Razer goodies. We've got the Diamondback, of course, the re-release. I actually played with the Diamondback for like 8 years or something, the original.
It's
back in the
dedication,
day.
man.
Yeah,
It's real dedication.
yeah, the sensor was pretty nice. It was back then. It was one of the better mice that you could get for sure. I think it was the era of when the MS 3.0 as well as the Logitech 510 or 500.
Yeah, I played
Yeah.
the 510 and 500 back in the days.
Yeah, it was that era.
Yeah.
It's like those three mice, and I was a Diamondback guy.
Wait, did you say that that's Dimeback?
Diamondback, yeah.
Oh, I'm so sad. I thought you said Dimeback. I was like,
Diamondback.
this is probably just me, but I was thinking of like Pantera's amazing guitarist.
Nice.
I was
No.
getting chills, but you ruined it for me. Dan.
I'm sorry, man. All right, so guys, we're going to go to a break. We have NIP versus Titan coming up on Cash. I think Titan should have a better time as Cash. It's NIP. Well, we'll have to wait and see.